guys, welcome back. So in today's video, I am going to be doing another skincare part 2, as you could say. So what this one is going to be about is going to be more for anti-aging tips and different ingredients that are good for anti-aging, as well as if you suffer with any hyperpigmentation, so like acne spots or dark spots, that kind of stuff. So I'm just going to talk about more so ingredients that are going to be geared towards those two different concerns. And don't worry, this should not be like the obnoxious 50 minutes that my last skincare video was. I just had so much to cover in my last one. But this one, I'm not going to really be showing any products. I'll have more products listed down below on what I feel like are going to be good for those different concerns. This is just going to be more so talking about the two different concerns and then more so ingredients versus my last video. If you didn't watch that, I can list it down below. But if you didn't watch that, that one was just more so of me showing, different steps for a skincare routine and what I think is going to be like a nice basic skincare routine, and then just showing the products that I use for my skincare routine, etc., etc. So yeah, this shouldn't be as long. If it is, whoopsie, but what are you gonna do? So yeah, let's go ahead and get into it. Okay, so then like the last time, I do have my notes ready, so then I can have a guide to follow by, so then I don't get too carried away. But we're going to first start with dark spots on uneven tone, so that's generally going to be known as hyperpigmentation. So the causes of dark spots are going to be 1, an overproduction of melanin due to overexposure of the sun, 2, inflammation due to injury, 3, acne, and then 4, too many dead skin cells. So now for me, I have suffered from hyperpigmentation. So like I've been saying in a few of my videos, that I do get more hormonal based acne. And then my face scars so easily. So my boyfriend John, he can have a zit and then it'll go away within a couple of days, and then he's not left with any red post acne mark on his face, which I'm super jealous of. But then there's me, who will get a zit like I have right here that I've had for about a week now. And then I will, it'll take a little bit longer, I feel for me, for my acne to go away. And then afterwards, I'm typically left with a red or a darker red acne mark for a few more weeks after that. And it can be really frustrating because it's I just want you to go away already. You're so annoying. But that's kind of what I suffer from. Some products that are going to be good for hyperpigmentation are going to be vitamin C. So that is an antioxidant that also has brightening benefits to the skin. Hydroquinone, so that's going to be a lightening ingredient recommended for use at night that must be partnered with a sunscreen. Now, I get nervous about hydroquinone because if you don't use it right, I feel it can go horribly wrong, and it can lighten the skin or make it turn a weird grayish, not literally gray, but just have a weird gray cast to your skin. So I get nervous about that. I would rather go towards more of the vitamin C route and these other ingredients, but hydroquinone is another ingredient. Botanical brighteners, so that is a brightening ingredient that is derived from plant sources that can be used in the morning and night. Also, using an exfoliator, that's going to help because that's going to help resurface the skin. So with an exfoliator, that helps shed the top layer of pigmented dead skin cells, so that would be more of your physical exfoliator like I mentioned in my last skincare video. And then you have your chemical exfoliators, and that is going to affect dark spots and uneven tone by loosening the glue, which is also known as adherens junction, that attaches dead skin cells to the surface of the skin. So you can use either chemical or physical exfoliation. One's just going to help shed the top layer of the skin. The other one is going to help resurface the skin and exfoliate down inside of the pores. So you can also use your enzymatic exfoliators as well. So that's going to be another type of chemical exfoliator. But like I mentioned in my last skincare video that your enzymatic exfoliators are not going to be as strong as your other chemical exfoliators, so like your alpha hydroxy acids and your beta hydroxy acids. So if you have more sensitive skin, I would go more towards the enzymatic exfoliator route. So that'll include like more of like your pumpkin, papaya, and your let's see, your pineapple enzymes. So that'll help affect dark spots and uneven tone by eating away at dead skin cells. So that's another route that you can go to. Also, as far as exfoliating, if you have more mature skin, I would go towards the route of using more of like a gentle exfoliator as far as like physical, if you want to go the physical exfoliation route, because if you use anything that's like too harsh or like too rough on the skin, since you're already having like more like mature, like aging skin, it's going to be a little more delicate. You'll want to go with something that's a little bit more on the gentle side as far as physical exfoliation, because then it's not going to be too rough and too harsh on the skin. Another ingredient that's going to be good for hyperpigmentation is going to be using a retinoid. So this increases cell turnover rate, improves texture, and resurfaces the skin. Now, when I say it increases cell turnover rate, I mean that's like what's going to get you like fresh, like new, I guess you could say, skin quicker. So you want to really use more of like these exfoliating products when you're trying to get rid of any hyperpigmentation, because the more that you use like an exfoliator, that's going to help with the process a little quicker, because you're resurfacing the skin, you're getting like fresh skin, so you're getting all of that like dead skin, like those dead skin cells off. So by resurfacing the skin, that's just going to help give you fresher skin and really like help like with fading those marks quicker. And then of course, when you're trying to get rid of any hyperpigmentation on the skin, you want to make sure that you're going in with a sunscreen. One, because that's going to protect the skin from any further sun damage if you have like any like dark marks or sun damage on the skin. And then also when trying to correct dark spots on an uneven tone, not wearing an SPF can reverse the effects that you're trying to achieve. So, you know, like if you're like working hard trying to like get rid of like those sunspots, any sun damage, or like any like acne marks, not wearing a sunscreen is just going to either like make it worse or like not, you know, the problem is just not going to be solved. Now for me, I personally am really, really bad about wearing sunscreen. I never do it. Every time summer rolls along, I'm like, I'm gonna go to the store, I'm gonna buy a sunscreen, I'm gonna wear it this summer, I'm gonna be really good at it, and then it just never happens. So don't be like me and not wear your sunscreen. Get into the habit of wearing it. I really should get into the habit, but it just hasn't happened yet, so shame on me. All right, so now that we kind of like covered the ingredients good for that, make sure that you look down below in the description bar, because I will be listing some products in there that will help with lightening. And also like at the end, I'll share like a couple products that I personally used, and plus these would be good for anti-aging as well. So I figured I'd just wait until the very end when I get through like with the anti-aging part. As far as anti-aging, so you know, fine lines and wrinkles, that's a big concern for a lot of men and women. I feel like especially once we get closer to like our 30s, we start seeing like a little bit of fine lines. I feel like especially around the eye area, because that is where you're going to see the first signs of aging, because it's so delicate and that is a very like expressive area on the face. So let's just talk about how it happens. So in younger skin, collagen and elastin are joined together to provide the firmness and bounce back to the skin. As skin ages, the collagen and elastin separate and start to break down. This causes sagging, wrinkles, and loss of firmness of the skin. Skin starts to look dull from the accumulation of dead skin cells due to slower cell turnover. So aging skin also experiences a decrease in oil production, and skin begins looking less dewy, causing fine lines to look more pronounced. So essentially, to sum it up, as you age, your skin is going to lose oil production, so you're going to look a little bit drier, and the collagen and elastin in your skin is going to separate, so therefore you're just going to have more so of like a little bit more like sagging, and that's where you get like the fine lines and wrinkles and all of that. So then as far as like the difference between more mature skin and then younger skin, like as you age, they're going to be a little different as far as like how skincare works and how quickly the skincare works. So that just all has to do with your cell turnover rate. So as you age, your cell turnover rate is going to be a little bit on the slower side versus like when you were younger. So things are going to take a little bit longer to work or for you to see results. So for young skin, it takes about 28 to 30 days for dead skin cells to reach the surface. For aging skin, it takes about 60 days. So if you're trying out a new product and you've only used it for about a week, I mean, no matter like, you know, if you're younger or have more mature skin, you know, that's just not going to be enough time. But if you're like that more mature skin, you're going to definitely want to wait until about that 60-day mark, because that's going to be the time of when you're starting to see changes in your skin to see if that product is working, because that's about how long it's going to take for your new cell turnover rate to happen. So, you know, if you're looking for anti-aging products, just, you know, be patient, wait it out, because it just is going to take a little bit longer time. It's just, you know, it's going to happen to everybody eventually. So it's just something to be aware of. So product ingredients that you're going to want to look for as far as anti-aging, you're going to want to look for your antioxidants. So that includes vitamins A, C, and E. That's going to help protect the skin from free radical damage and visually improve the signs of environmental damage. You're going to want to look for peptides, and that's going to support the body's natural collagen and elastin. Retinoids, that helps improve skin's natural cell turnover and renewal. And then of course you're going to want to use an exfoliator, so that's just going to help assist with the removal of dead skin cells from the surface of the skin, resulting in new cells that appear fuller. Okay, so now I kind of wanted to go over a couple of products that I personally have used on my face to help with my my hyperpigmentation when I did have like a bunch of like acne scarring. Sorry, I'm distracted because I feel like on the monitor it seems so bright, so sorry if like the video is like super like bright and the like lighting seems like off. But this stuff is also going to be good for like anti-aging as well, so I figured I'd like save it towards the end. But the first product that I am going to talk about is this one right here, and this is the Dr. Dennis Gross Alpha Beta Universal Daily Peel Pads, and this right here is going to be good for dry to oily skin. It's not recommended for sensitive just because it is, you know, quite strong, I feel like. And this is claims from Sephora's website directly. So what these are a daily peel and pre-soaked pads that is formulated to resurrect radiance and diminish the appearance of the three most common signs of aging: uneven tone and texture, fine lines and wrinkles, and enlarged pores. So this comes in a two-step process. I'll just open it up and show you. Mine are almost gone, and I got like the biggest box there is, but so it comes in like a two-step process like this. So you have step 1 and step 2 right here. And step 1 is packed with rejuvenating, powerful yet gentle exfoliating acids. And then step 2 controls the alpha hydroxy acid activity, delivers anti-aging actives, nourishes and keeps the skin balanced, smooth, and radiant. And this is also formulated with 5 acids, which are glycolic, so that's going to help reduce signs of aging. Salicylic acid reduces pore blockage and supports natural collagen. I believe it's malic, if I'm pronouncing it correctly. Malic acid supports natural cell renewal, fights the appearance of wrinkles, exfoliates and moisturizes. Genesine, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly, but that supports optimum natural collagen level. And then lactic acid, which is your AHA, and citric acid, which is your AHA. So it has a bunch of different acids in it, and with this, you can either do it in the morning or at night. I used mine at night just because like I didn't want my skin to be too sensitive to the sun with this, but this is going to be a peel pad, so it's going to be your chemical exfoliation. And with this, you would take like the step 1, and then you would take the little pre-soaked pad, and then you would gently rub it in circular motions all around the entire face until the pad is dry. And then you would go in with the second one after waiting 2 minutes. Like after you get done with the first one, you'd wait 2 minutes, and then you would go in with the second one. And then this is just going to like basically neutralize the active ingredients that are in the first pad. And then you use this on the entire face until it's until like the pad is about dry. But what these are going to be really good for are decongesting the pores, smoothing out the skin, and also helping with any hyperpigmentation that you may have, or helping with like fine lines and wrinkles. These are going to be really good for that. Now I would go in with these first, and I would use mine every day. You can use them like every other day. And with these, when you use the first pad, you're going to notice like not necessarily like burning, but it's a little bit of a warm sensation. So like a tingly warm sensation. So you'll definitely notice the active ingredients working with this. And then when you go in with this step, with the second step, it just helps neutralize it and kind of like stop, I guess you could say, like those active ingredients. But these are really, really nice. And they do have one that is going to be stronger than this. This one's just a universal one, which I always recommend to people first. Like if you're just starting out with these, try these first because I feel like these are pretty strong on their own. So I would be honestly a little nervous to try the stronger ones, but they do have ones that are stronger, and then they do have ones that are going to be geared more towards drier skin. So I feel like they're going to be a little more gentler. But you can use these if you have dry skin. They just have like a couple other options as well. But these are really, really nice. These are going to be quite pricey for a box of these, but I feel like they're very worth it. Like I bought the biggest box, and the biggest box comes with 60 treatments. So I mean, this was pretty pricey, but I felt like the biggest box was worth it because like I know about this product just from working at Sephora, so I know like how good it is. And so for me, I felt like it was a really good investment because it really did help. And with these as well, since it does smooth the skin, you're going to notice that your foundation is going to lay smoother on your skin as well. So it'll really help overall with the, not only like the inside of your pores and the appearance of your like hyperpigmentation and the brightness of your skin, but also with how smooth your foundation is going to lay. So I really like these. I haven't been using them as much just because I don't feel like I need them right now. You do have like acne creams as well. Be careful with these because they can irritate the skin a little bit, because one of my acne creams that I use Axone in the morning, and like I just used one of these pads the other day, and I think with it being like so dry out, since I live in a colder climate, it irritated my skin a little bit and it felt really dry for a couple of days. But when I used it like during the summertime, I feel like since there's more moisture in the air, it didn't irritate my skin as much. So that's just something to be cautious with if you do have, like use acne creams. This may irritate the skin a little bit. And I will list a couple of other options down below as well that aren't necessarily as strong as this. Like if you're afraid to use something like this, I know Peter Thomas Roth has one as well that's going to be like pretty much the exact same as this. It's just going to be a little bit like just like not as strong as this. So like these are pretty powerful like little pads here. So I feel like it's definitely worth the investment if you want to check them out. They also have smaller boxes too, but the bigger box is honestly worth it. But when I was working at Sephora, I had somebody tell me that one of the previous employees who worked there, like before I did, like she took a pad and put it, used it on one side of her hand every single day for about a year. And she, was able to compare what her hand looked like while using the pads and what the other hand looked like without using it. And she could tell like a huge, huge difference in, the smoothness and the brightness of her hand. And also like if she had like, like sunspots or, like any like, freckles or like dark marks or anything like that. Those also diminished over time versus like her other hand where she didn't do anything to it. So these also are going to help with like any like sunspots or like dark marks too if you have like sun damage. So I really, 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 really recommend these. There's also like cheaper alternatives as well. I just feel like these ones are like a very good option to go with if you want to check these out. But I'll list like I said, I'll list even some like cheaper alternatives down below as well. So then the next product that I went in with using with these little peel pads here is this product from Caudalie, and it is their Vinyl Perfect Radiance Serum, and it looks like this. As you can see, my bottle is empty. I used up the entire thing, but I really liked this stuff. Now what this is it's going to be a serum, and so this is going to be good for dry to oily skin types and sensitive. And this is a highly concentrated, natural oil-free serum that combats dark spots, evens skin tone, and boosts radiance, and proven to be 62 times more effective than vitamin C. Solutions for uneven skin tone, dullness, and uneven texture and dryness, helps correct dark spots such as acne scars, pigmentation, melasma, and sunspots. You can apply this in the morning and at night to cleanse skin on the face, neck, and chest. And it is safe to use without making your skin sensitive to the sun. Like a lot of, like for instance, like this stuff here, like you want to make sure that you're using an SPF with it, which I was really bad about doing. Whoopsie. But you want to make sure that you're using like an SPF with this especially, or anything like that. Now this one, it won't make your skin sensitive to the sun at all, so that's why you can use it twice a day. But of course, like I mentioned a little bit ago, you would still want to make sure that you're using an SPF if you're trying to, reverse, any like hyperpigmentation or like dark spots or like sun damage, just because you don't want to like reverse the effects and either make it worse or like not make your products work correctly. So yeah, I really like this. I did use it twice a day. I used it, like I said, in combination with these, and these I feel like were a match made in heaven when it came to lightening my acne scarring. So I would go in with this first. Like I said, I would use this at nighttime, and then I would go in with this, and I would use this both morning and night, and the stuff worked so well together. This wore really well under my makeup. It didn't make me feel like oily or greasy or anything like that. So this was really, really nice. And if you know anything about vitamin C is known as the BLT, so it brightens, lightens, and tightens the skin. So vitamin C is very, very nice for the skin. If you want, pretty much like anything like hyperpigmentation or anything like that to, help be lightened and your skin to be brighter, vitamin C is a very good option. So with this being 62 times more brightening and effective than vitamin C, that's, I feel like that's awesome. And Caudalie, they're a very nice brand. They have a lot of nice ingredients in their products, and they're the #1 skincare line in, I believe it's France. So, France is very big on like cosmetics and fashion and all of that. So that's really cool there. I like how it comes in like this little dropper here. So I feel like it's just a very, nice packaging as well. It's solid. It's a glass package. But I really enjoyed that product, as you can tell, because I used it all. But I really recommend using these two together as far as lightening any, hyperpigmentation from acne, or you could even try it too with, like if you have sun damage. So these worked really, really nice together. If I, ever have the problem, which I really, really, really hope that I don't, but if I ever have the problem again to where I just have like all of the hyperpigmentation from my acne scarring, like it just like kept like building up, because silly me, I decided to stop taking my acne creams because I'm like, oh, like it was, last winter, I was like, oh, my skin is perfect. I don't need my acne creams anymore. I'm never breaking out, blah, 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 blah. Fast forward to March, and I started breaking out here and there, and then it would start, to get a little worse, and a little worse, and a little worse, and then over time, I just developed, like I said, my skin scars easily. I'll have, the post-acne scarring for up to like a few weeks after the breakout goes away. So it just kept building up and building up with each new like zit that I would get. So I just felt like, I was helpless at that point. So I was willing to spend the money on this product here. And then, from working at Sephora, I had one of my coworkers, like she gave me this because, she never used it. And so she's like, here, try this. It'll really help. So I tried them together and they worked so good. So I really, really, really recommend those two together. And I feel like they are definitely worth the investment. But yeah, so like I was saying, like if I ever had to deal with, if I ever have to deal with that issue again, as far as like a lot of like acne scarring, which knock on wood, I really hope that I don't, because it's so horrible. It's like brings down your self-esteem so much. But I would definitely invest in these products again because they did such a great job. Oh, and I wanted to point out, I know I talked about like retinoids and all of that. Now, if you use that as far as like lightening up your acne scarring, just keep in mind that using a retinoid, your skin may go through a purging period. So that just means that it's like cleaning out all of the gunk that's in your pores, and you may go through a little breakout period for a couple weeks. So just keep that in mind. If it happens, it's more than likely natural, and it just, keep pushing through it. It may happen for like a couple weeks, but of course, if you feel like if you're sensitive to it or anything like that, then stop using it. But I just wanted to throw that out there because I have heard before that using a retinoid may cause you to go through a purging period of where you're breaking out when your skin's like adjusting to it. So yeah, so I think that's it. I don't really, have much to say about, like anti-aging, and as far as like hyperpigmentation and stuff. Is just basically giving you information about like what ingredients are good for what, and I will just list products down below, and I just wanted to throw in here the things that I have used. So I will see you in my next one. Bye guys.